Hello, all you hardcore boxing fans out there. How you doing? We'll see from Poker's Corner, the biggest club in sport. We say the things on here that nobody dare say. Isn't that right? Anthony Big Meats Joshua. Pop, pop, bang. Getting roasted by the Cobra. I'll come to you in a minute, you big stiff. First of all, let me just tell you about my sister channel, Porky's International, YouTube. I hope you like other sports. Feel free to like and subscribe and leave a comment. Let me see if I can suss out this laptop carry on here. Let's have a look. Let's have a look what this laptop's like. Here we go. Oh, fucking right, carry on this, isn't it? I have to show my face on here after 7 years. Hey. Right, let's get stuck in, shall we? Let's get stuck right in. Beefy Smith. He's going to fight Josh Kelly. Him and Ben Shallow are never going to work together and all that nonsense. Who cares? Who cares, man? Beefy Smith shot to bits. I hope Josh Kelly punches him upside down, puts hands on him. So it is what it is. Beefy Smith, in my opinion, right, shot to bits. His trainer, Joe McAnally, wanted either go to guy a few months ago. What's that? What sort of trainer lets a fighter get in the ring knowing that he cannot win and he cannot go more than a few rounds because he is weight drained? What sort of trainer allows that to happen? Or what sort of trainer didn't know that his fight were weight drained? It's an incompetent trainer, isn't it? You're incompetent on both accounts. It's like that when I have a kickoff at judges and referees, they're either in on it or they're useless. Now, Joe McAnally either knew he was dead at the weight or he didn't know, which means he's useless. Either way, he's a shithouse. So as far as I'm concerned, a shithouse. He either knew his fighter was dead at the weight against Eubank, which means he's no good, is he? Or he didn't know, which means he's no good anyway because he's not doing his job. Do you get my point? So I'll move on from him now that I've tidied him up. Beefy Smith and his trainer, and who cares about him and Ben Shalom? Look at Beefy Smith. When he signed with Ben Shalom and that, he were friends to the end, just like when he signed with Bricktop and Eddie Hills. These people will go to bed with an anaconda. Right. That's what they'll do. That's what they'll do. It is what it is. And that goes for 99% of boxing people, including champions, ex-champions. If there's a pound note on the table, they'll sell their arsehole to get that money. Frotch and Anthony Joshua. Beef. We've got beef, haven't they? What do I think they should do about it? Get at it. Just get at it on cobbles. We've got a 14 stoner against a 19 stoner. Get at it on the cobbles. It's as simple as that. I don't think Joshua would want to get stuck into Cobra, would he? But on cobbles, no chance. But it's what it is. The Cobra's put him to the sword. Now, Carl's showed some text messages. Only showed a few anyways, calling him a prick. And Joshua's calling him a prick, this and that. Look, this has been going on for a few years now. It's not new. And there's been sniping behind the scenes for a while. Ever since Carl were critical when he got beat against Ruiz. That's just it, innit? They can take all the plaudits, can't they? The Tyson Furies, the Anthony Joshuas, take all the plaudits. As soon as anybody gives them any constructive criticism, look what happens. You've just seen, haven't you? You've just seen end up with vileness. We all remember Anthony Joshua, don't we? Sending Eddie Chambers vile text, telling him he's a disgrace against the black human race. And we all remember the Black Lives Matter speech that he did, don't we? When he was limping that day. Remember? Well, they all had the BLM t-shirts on, and then a week later, we were on Google trying to paper over the cracks and do a PR campaign. Look, this guy would sell his arsehole for £1 note. That's the bottom line. Sell his arsehole for money. And he has done. He's a brass. Absolute brass. He got flogged by Ruiz and he quit. That's the bottom line. Quit. Usyk done him in twice. Who was he beating his last 4 fights? Franklin, a bin man. Elenius and Wallin, former sparring partners. And Ngannou in his second fight as a boxer. Next up, well, you know who he's got next up, don't you? Daniel Dubois, former sparring partner. So it is what it is. But Dubois ended up with a belt, hasn't he? By default, you know. Usyk battered Dubois. He battered Joshua twice, and now they're fighting for one of his belts that he's not bothered about. You couldn't make it up, could you? You couldn't make it up. I see Bricktop's been shooting his mouth off regarding Daniel Dubois and what he can and can't do. Bricktop, listen, we saw Dubois, didn't we? We seen what your man were about against Usyk. He's got note to come, mate, at that level. Note to come. Let's have a look. Embarrassing that from Eddie, wasn't it, really? You see it? Eddie going on about how His Excellency pulled them both together and said, look, work together, we don't want no mishaps and all that. Eddie, what a brass you are. You and Bricktop, you've been running back and forward to Vatman, Taxman, and God knows who else. You had lawyers, private detectives, all sorts of people, allegedly, on the case in the last 30 to 40 years. Now look at them. Friends to the end for £1 note. You couldn't make it up. Couldn't make it up. Joshua's... Everybody's beefing, aren't they? Is that the way to sell fights now? Beefing. Joshua's not even qualified to talk about beef, to be honest. But he's piped up, and Joshua slagging Tyson Fury off. Look, if Tyson Fury don't want to fight Usyk and Joshua don't want to fight Dubois, Joshua and Fury will fight. Personally, I think that's what'll happen. But then again, I don't believe anything I'm told in boxing because you're surrounded by liars, vagabonds, and charlatans. Off with their heads. It is what it is. It is what it is. Johnny Horsecock Nelson's come out. He's saying that the IBF belt, it don't mean jack, what they're fighting for. It's Usyk's belt. He's the daddy. I tend to agree with Horsecock there. So good points made by Johnny Horsecock. Big shout out to Welcome Estates, Gary. I'll see you Tuesday, lad. Hope you're well. Hope your lass is all right and getting better. Let's have a look here. Garcia Haney situation. What do I think to it? I've said my opinion on that many times. I think it's a joke, isn't it, really? Haney got battered by a man that got in the ring £2 overweight, so he paid a $1.5 million fine, but he also took steroids and he failed for that. So Haney, if he's got any gonads on him, needs to sue the promoter of the show and the boxer. That's what I do. You start suing promoters that want to come to the table. So flex your muscles, Haney, and get Garcia sued and get the promoter of the show sued. I do. You've been punched about upside down and knocked down by a drug cheat and had your belt took off you. Fair enough, you've got your belt back, but is everybody supposed to just forget about that? I don't know. I don't know. But it's looking like Haney's going to be parked up a year so he can get his son right. And then we've got the other one. You know, it's Garcia. He's away with fairies. He's banned a year, isn't he? Oh, it is what it is, isn't it? Martin Bacoli against Anderson. I'm gonna go Bacoli for me. Basically on that one, I'm gonna go Bacoli. I think Macaulay is more accomplished of a fighter. I think he's got more in his locker than Jared Anderson. But we'll see, won't we? It is what it is. You know what I mean? What do I think to Mr. Bean giving his opinion on that Copper's channel, Boxing King Media? How you doing, old Bill? You're a copper, you. You live near my cousin. In fact, his street backs onto yours, Copper. Hey, putting Carl Froch's name in titles. I don't know. Bean wasn't even on about Froch and Joshua when he were on about it. So why put it in title? Trying to be controversial. Copper. That's what you were doing at you coppers. Hey. Well, I'm next door to your mate's car place next door, Copper. Stop by anytime. I'd love to invite you in for a cuppa when it's just me and you on our own. You know what I mean, don't you, Copper? Hey. So that's about it, really. I hope everybody's enjoying their weekend. I'm going to get all sorted this week. I've had loads of stuff on. Fucking loads of stuff. Car problems, hospital appointments, children problems. You name it, I've had it. I've copped it last few weeks. But so it is what it is, isn't it? It is what it is. Look, finally got a laptop going. Oh, okie dokie. Big shout out to Pokers International. You know what our channel is. Pokers International YouTube. Feel free to like and subscribe and leave a comment. Big shout out to Jeff Hines, the border control referee. I've had him on quite a couple of videos now on Pokers International. Fantastic interview he is, and he knows his sports. I hope you're well, Jeff. Have a great weekend in Reading. Max, get in touch. We'll have you back on channel. Ken, Michael, Mozza, John, Richard, Terry, Jake in London, Gary at Welcome Estates, Jerry, and Adam. We'll have you all back on next week, all right, when I'm feeling a bit better. So, okie doke. Go on, peace out. Thanks for liking and subscribing and leaving a comment. Right. Get some medication down in there, and I'm going to go Zonko at 6 o'clock on a Friday. All right. Well, peace out. Thanks for liking and subscribing and leaving a comment. Booyaka.